Okay guys, welcome back down to Carbon Car Systems here in Australia. So today we're going to be running you through how we use the new SoundSkins Rings, and we're going to give you a real in-depth look at how versatile they are and all the different applications and where you can use them. So today we're actually doing an install on a Ford Focus STs, the turbo model Ford. I don't know if you get them in the States, but we have these in Australia. They're a European car, very, very cool little car. But this is a perfect application to show you how we would use these to get perfect sound into your cabin and direct that sound against the door trims and have no loss into the speaker cavity, and also do perfect airtight seals on your baffles, and we're going to show you that quickly. So this client here actually came in with a setup done with these still cheap speakers. I'm going to call them cheap speakers. I'm not really sure what they're worth. They're I'm not even going to tell you the brand, but they're not really good. But when the last store installed these aftermarket speakers, they used the factory baffles and they tortured it. Like, look at the holes here where they punched the screws through. Like, clearly didn't even pre-drill the things, and they really know. So we actually wanted to save these because, you know, these have got factory bolt holes that bolt up to another plate in the car, and gets quite expensive, or it takes a lot of time to custom make some new baffles. When these are actually quite good, like they're really got airtight seals against the back already, and they've got some factory plugs that we're just going to adapt, and we're going to solder on some new wires. That's the old ones there, but we're taking them off. But what we're going to fit today is these Focal 165 KRX2s. I really love Focal speakers, so we do a ton of those. You probably noticed in all our videos we're using a lot of Focal stuff. These are some awesome speakers, handmade in France, but nonetheless, let's move on. What we did is we used the SoundSkins Rings to do the airtight seals. Now, because this has been chewed out, we took the adapter rings and we mounted this on the inside here, and we mounted that double-sided tape. I'm just showing you with one hand. It was exactly like that. And then we took the new speaker and we were able to mount that in there to give the airtight seal between the speaker and the baffle, okay? And that mounts up there tight, like that, nice and neat. But what you got a problem with is you still got these holes. So what we took is the outer ring of the adapter plates, and we ran these along the outside, and we double-sided taped it, which is already on there. It's 3M high adhesive double-sided tape around the edge, and that sealed the baffle to be airtight. So you can actually see we've mounted around the side there. There it is from a face-on look. And this is going to mount up in the car, in the factory plugs, in the factory locations, and be airtight sealed. So we were able to save that baffle because it's a plastic baffle. It's waterproof. It's like decent quality. And our SoundSkins Rings are completely waterproof. They're a closed cell foam. They're actually made from a butyl rubber, so they're actually waterproof as well. And then once that's completed like that, we will take another ring. So we've got another ring here, and we're going to mount that on the face, and that's actually going to seal against the door trim in the car, so the sound is directed directly into the cabin. Okay, airtight seal, so you're not losing it in all that door trim cavity. And that's how they design factory speakers. So it's emulating or copying the factory speakers. So that's the front speakers and how we would do those. Again, these are the rears. We will do it here as well for the rears. We put a ring there, put a speaker through there, mount that up against it, and then we'd also do another one on the face of that, and that's perfectly airtight sealed for the rear ones as well. So we're actually able to prep this all on the bench and design it perfectly to go in the car. So we can just go over and bolt it up into the factory locations, factory plugs, everything. But this is the cool part. These were the tweeters we actually pulled out, the actual bodgy ones. They were hot glued in, which is a real big problem here in Australia because we have actually a lot of heat. So that actually in summer will wear out. But what I'm going to do is quickly pull this off. Oops, sorry. I'll show you this tweeter. Very hard to do one hand. Okay, I'm going to show you what we did here. So with the Focal tweeters, we pulled the old ones out. So that was the old ones. They were hot glued in. Very shitty work. Another store, would you believe? Couldn't believe it. What we did is we de-shelled the Focal tweeter because this is a massive shell for the tweeter. We don't need that. So we de-shelled it, and we mounted the tweeter into the factory locations. And what we used is the Mobile Solutions adhesive and with the activator as well. So we use that to mount in place. You can get that anywhere in the world. You can order it from Mobile Solutions USA off their website. Really awesome stuff. Great guys over there. They train some of the best in the world. So we mounted up the back and we adhered that. Then we put some SoundSkins Pro over the back of it just to hold it in there as a double safety, so it's never going to move. It's going to give some nice sound, airtight seal. Not that it really matters because the tweeter's in its own cone. But this is the cool part. We took the little 1-inch tweeter ring and put it on the face of the speaker. So what you can see there you go. We're actually going to be able to direct the sound into the cabin. okay? And when you look at the factory grill, that's the little hole you got to work with, right? So it may look like a big speaker grill, but you really don't want it going into all that cavity, all that cavity in there. You want it actually to come into the cabin. So we put this little 1-inch speaker ring on the face of the tweeter. Check this out, this looks awesome. Clips it up, all in the factory locations, and there you have it. You can actually even see the yellow from the center of the tweeter coming directly into that speaker. So hopefully you can get to see it in a bit of light there. You can actually see the yellow. But look at that, factory sealed up, and that will mount into the car perfectly. So I actually love that. So that's really how versatile those things are, and we can actually show you. So where this will mount in the car. So we'll come over here. I haven't got the face on yet. We're just going to show you. So we've used SoundSkins Pro. This is our little template cutting board. We actually cut it all on the bench before we put it on the car. And so this is the sound deadening, the SoundSkins Pro. We use that to deaden the doors in the inside. And that will give an airtight seal, waterproof seal. It's all waterproof as well. One piece, easy application. This looks crinkled because we have the door trim actually sits inside. So we actually made a little cavity for it to sit in. But when you do these speakers, it'll actually bolt up into this factory location. There you go, perfectly, and it'll plug in that plug. It's a bit hard to show you with one hand, but that'll actually, oh, there you go, perfect. Sit in there, bolt up, factory bolt, perfectly airtight into the cabin. And so that's how you would deaden, sound deaden the car and use SoundSkins Rings, and that's perfectly prepped, and you're gonna give awesome sound. And I'm just gonna show you, this is, we sound deaden the inside as well, so the inside of the cavity, because to stop that actual loss of sound through the vibration of the panels in the door. Like, we haven't done the backs yet, so really tinny, you lose a lot of your sound there, but when you actually do your sound deadening on your outside doors, it should sound like that. So it's easy to tell if your car's been done. Just tap the outside of your doors and you can really tell if you know, your car audio store did your sound deadening properly. But that's the SoundSkins Pro and the SoundSkins Rings, and when we prep those for the doors, we actually clean them up, use a little bit of wax and grease remover. I think it's called Prep Sol here in Australia. You can get it from any hardware to clean that up, but a really, really good way to make your speakers perform the way they should. But that's a real in-depth look at how versatile and how easy they are to use. These are the kits. You get them in a kit that will do a pair of speakers, but you'll always get leftover rings, which you can use for other cars. So these are all the sizes that come in it. You get 2 of those adapter ring kits. They're about 15 millimeters thick. I'm not sure what that is in inches, sorry guys, but check the website. It is on our website, I believe, or just punch in the Google, work out the calculations. But there's the 6-inch plugs as well, and some other rings, but just a whole heap of adapter rings. So that eggshell foam one is a plug that can go behind the speaker if you want to do it to stop that attenuated or that standing back wave, stop that loss of sound and reflection, and give some really nice sound. But that's another way to use those. Again, completely waterproof, and they actually will double-sided tape perfectly onto the SoundSkins Pro. So if you have the SoundSkins Pro on the inside, that will seal against that perfectly and never come off. It's like, if that stuff gets wet, it stays there. So it's really, really cool. But hope you like that inside look. But that's how we use them every single day, and we do them on every single speaker install now, and it gives you a good idea. But you can contact, we designed those with Perfectionist Auto Sound in the US. So they're up in Alaska, and he's a SoundSkins USA distributor. We're here in Australia, Carbon Car Systems, so we actually have partnered with Stinger Australia for distribution of those, so you can get them from any Stinger dealer in Australia, or contact the guys in the US for Canada and the USA and northern regions. So hope that you enjoyed that inside look, guys, but really cool stuff.